Okay, here we go. Limits, part 3. When I plug in 0, what do I get? I get 1 over 5 minus 1 over 5 over 0. 0 over 0, which means indeterminate, which means keep going. You're not done yet. You have to wait till you get an answer. Okay, in these type of problems, you've got a fraction on top of your fraction. You want to add those two together. And I'm going to teach you the Miss Russell method of adding. She used to be a calculus teacher, a pre-cal teacher here at Coppell High School. And she retired. But this is the coolest thing. Easiest way to remember how to do fractions. You got to get a common denominator. Okay? First thing you do is multiply those, and you get 5. Then you're going to multiply those, and you get 5 plus x. This is a negative in the middle, so that's a negative. Then you smile on the bottom, which means you're going to multiply those two. 5 times 5 plus x. Okay? Clean it up. Go back to blue. 5 minus 5 goes away, so you end up with negative x over 25 plus 5x. Now remember, this is the top half of your fraction. This is all still on top of x. And I like to write it as x over 1, so I remember that I have a fraction on top of a fraction. All right? When I was trying to make my notes, I forgot about this, so don't forget about it. I was getting weird answers. I was getting 0 every time, and I knew I was doing something wrong. Okay, so how do you clean that up? Negative x over 25 plus 5x times the reciprocal of the bottom, which is 1 over x. Now, my x's go away, and I have 1 over 25 plus 5x, and I'm going to take the limit of that as x approaches 0. When I plug that in, I end up with 1 over 25, and I've got an answer. Oh, this is negative. Don't miss the negative. The whole problems are wrong. It's not partial credit because I forgot the negative. You made a mistake. You got the wrong answer, okay? That's not as simple. I left off the negative. Okay? Next problem. You plug in 1. I get 1/2 minus 1/2 over 0. 0 over 0. Remember to always check. I've got fractions on top again. I'm going to add my fractions, so I have 1 over x plus 1 minus 1/2. We're going to do the Miss Russell method. You multiply these, then you multiply these. Whatever's in the middle goes here, and then you smile on the bottom. So you get 2 times x plus 1. When I clean it up, I get 1 minus x on top of 2x plus 1. Remember, it's the top half of my fraction. The bottom is x minus 1 over 1. So I have this fraction on top of this fraction. And I got to clean it up. So I have 1 minus x over 2x plus 1 times 1 over x minus 1. You know, wait, I can't cross those out. Well, factor the negative 1 out of here. And this becomes negative 1 plus x. All I did was factor out the negative 1. I switched colors on you. So let's switch to green and be all different. So those cross out. So now I'm going to take the limit as x goes to 1 of negative 1 over 2x plus 1. And you plug in 1 and you get negative 1 over 3. Nope, this should have been a 2. I didn't distribute. Watch my algebra, y'all. There we go. You guys probably caught that long ago and go, I hope she catches that. You're so smart. Thank you. Okay. Your turn. I'm going to let you do that one. If you have the answer is negative 1 over 16, see if you can get it. All right. Next page, special trig limits. This is right. I don't have to change the title on this one. I'm not going to do it in green. I'm going back to blue. All right. If you plug 0 in there, you get the sign of 0 over 0, and you get 0 over 0. It's indeterminate. In this case, I don't know any algebra techniques, so I'm going to graph it. When you graph this function, it goes along like this, and there's a gap in it, and it goes down like this. Okay, and when I do my limit coming in from this direction and my limit coming in from that direction, I get 1 for an answer. Memorize that. It's a special case, just know it. Okay? The next one, 1 minus the cosine of x over x, it approaches 0. Special case, memorize it. Okay, that's why this says special right there. Okay? This last one, I don't ever remember seeing this in a calculus problem. It's really compound interest rate continuously. It goes to 1. All right? But I don't know as I've ever used that. I've never worked problems with it. All right. So here we go. We have some trig problems. There's special cases of those. This is really, I think we're going to do this on Friday, so if you want to wait and watch this on Friday, you can. But I'm here, I'm going to finish explaining it because we have another notes for Friday. Okay? Plug in 0, you get the tangent at 0 over 0, you get 0 over 0. In this case, I'm going to use my trig identities. Those of you that didn't pay attention in pre-calc class, now's the time, learn your identities. The tangent is the sine of x over x, and I'm dividing by, come on, I'm talking ahead of myself. My brain's faster than my hand. Over the cosine of x. That's all divided by x over 1, so that's times 1 over x. I'm going to rewrite this problem as the sine of x over x times 1 over the cosine of x. That's just an algebra manipulation, okay, because you're multiplying fractions. If I multiply those, I get the same answer. And now when you take the limit as x goes to 0 of the sine of x over x times 1 over the cosine of x, you use your properties. This is equal to 1. 1 over the cosine of 0 is 1, so that's 1, and your answer is 1, rather than undefined. All right? This one, you go, oh, that's one of the special cases I have. This is the sine of x over x. The problem is this is called an argument. It's 4x. It has to match the bottom, and it does not. So we do a little technique. You can't factor the 4 out, okay? No. You'll make me cringe. I'll lose sleep all night if you factor that 4 out. What you're going to do is multiply by 4 over 4 times the sine of x of 4x. That's all over x, because now it looks like this, 4 times the sine of 4x over 4x. My argument here and this match. That's a special case of this. And so when you take the limit as x goes to 0 of 4 times the sine of 4x over 4x, you get 4 times 1, and the answer is 4. Okay? These two I'm going to save, and we're going to work them. This one and this one I'm going to save and work on Thursday, because that's when we're going to do the rest of trig, and we have some one-sided limits to teach you. Okay? This one I'm going to work right now. How do you factor that? That's 1 minus the cosine of x times, oh, hang on, it doesn't fit. Bad planning on my part. This is the difference of squares. Difference of squares. So you get 1 minus the cosine of x times 1 plus the cosine of x, all divided by x. So now when I take the limit of 1 minus the cosine of x over x times the 1 plus the cosine of x, well, this is equal to 0, so the whole thing equals 0. And remember, 0 is an answer. That's an answer. It's not undefined. Does not exist. It's okay when you have something that's indeterminate to get 0 for an answer. This one, you can factor the 3 out. So you have 3 times 1 minus the cosine of x over x. And when you take the limit, as x goes to 0, you get 3 times 0, and you get 0 again. This one I'm going to leave for you, and I'll see if you can find the answer, and I'm going to ask you on Thursday, what the answer to that AP question is. That was kind of quick. We covered a lot of material. You have to know how to, what did we do? Add fractions, how to touch it, how to smile on it, and then some special cases that you just need to memorize. All right, we will see you in the videos again.